you have had to redo your 72-hour kit? Yeah. And how many of you still need to redo it? And that's the problem, okay? When we started these, when I was up in Lake Arrowhead, and the bishop on the pulpit, of which I was in charge, but I didn't know that at that time, it said, I command you all to make a 72-hour kit. You absolutely must have one, and you need one.
Yep.
Okay, so 72-hour kits are a 3-day take it and go, or put it in your car. Everybody has a different way of doing it. I like mine in my car because that's where the emergency happens, and that's where I get stuck. And out here with the heat this time of year, it's a real emergency. So we did back in Lake Arrowhead. Our biggest thing was winter. And you know, the road, they called it Rim of the World, because if you were on the rim road, it, you know, dropped. And it was quite frightening. And it was iced. So you better have your food and you better be ready. And here it's more the summer that's a bigger emergency. I wanted to go over the things that I put in it. After going through it a couple of times, first we made it almost gourmet. It was lovely, like a picnic. And of course, that did not last in freezing weather. And of course, here, it won't work in the heat in your trunk. And if you don't have it with you, and you're stuck in the emergency, or how many of you ever got trapped in the gorge, you're in trouble. And so we have made it kind of a mission to say, what will work? And stay at least a few years, because nobody has time. They used to try and get you to redo it at conference. Eat it, redo it. Good in theory. Just doesn't happen all the time. So I wanted to share with you, first thing, these great flashlights. Have you seen these at Walmart? They're $1 a piece. This is a $10 tin flashlight pack. And I was looking for my other kind that I don't think I brought that are a little more plain, and they carry a $1 LED flashlight. They last forever. You can't destroy it. They're wonderful. Best thing I've ever seen. And they'll last. So I can carry it on my backpack, which I do. These are the old ones. And I've had these on here for years, and they're still working. They're great. Okay, so I'm going to ask, first of all, and of course you have to hit my list, not yours, but if you come up with something that should be in a 72-hour pack, you win a flashlight. Okay? So I want a category, not an item. So what's the first category of things you'd want in a backpack? Water. Okay, you want a flashlight. What's another thing you would want in your backpack?
Medicine. Whatever medicine.
Medicine. Really big for a lot of people. And I carry just a 3-day supply of that for my husband. I'm not packing vitamins, I'm talking like, you know, you gotta have that medicine. And so I can take 3 or 4, put them in there of the ones he really needs, leave out his B and D, he'll survive. But medicine is a big one. What's another thing you're gonna put in?
First aid.
First aid. You wanna pass that back? What's another thing?
Food.
Food. Who said food first? This way, okay? And food is the hardest. Food is the hardest item. Okay, food's hard, and we'll talk about that. Okay, is there anything else? You missed a big one. Ladies. Oh. No, I didn't have that, but it's good that you do.
TP. No,
It won't fit.
you need TP. Toilet paper.
Personals. Personals. And if you have young ladies in your house, we're talking personals. Okay? But TP is the main thing. All right, so we're going to break that down a little bit. I hope you'll take advantage of these flashlights. They're wonderful. And my kids, or grandkids, they look forward to one every year. I find something different to put in their Christmas package. They love flashlights. All right, so what I discovered, let's just start with food because
Do you want somebody to hold that mic for you? Thank you.
I've got it as soon as I get it over here. Okay, and I put my things in packages. So this one says, this is my sanitation kit. This one is my personals. This one is warmth. Okay, different situations, not this week. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, this one is fire and light that you're gonna need.
Seriously though, when my son went to Congo, I think I got him a solar-powered fan, so you could,
Yes.
so you can
the
have that, because
solar-powered
their
things
power
are
was
good.
always going out and on there.
And nobody ever thinks about solar lights, but they're a wonderful thing to have in your car. So you have a problem, you stick it out, let it get the sun, bring it in, and you've got a flashlight that lasts all night. They're really very good. So along with food is our water. Okay, these are the only type of water that will last without going bad. If you're carrying plastic water, which you should, it is only for washing up with. The plastic leaches into the water and stays in your kidneys, and it never comes out. If you're carrying water in your car for weeks at a time in the summer, you're really hurting yourself. Taking plastic water with me, I do it all the time, but it's gone. I don't keep it there. But I will keep a few in my package because I want to wash up. So I'm going to pass this around. It's in an aluminum package. Most of the places I use are emergency essentials. Okay, and they're online. And you know, I need to pass these around, and that way you can write on them. Thanks, Debbie, buddy. And if you want to make notes on them, feel free. But this water, and we'll start it here, will stay forever. Water doesn't go bad, okay? But it does get stale. Shake it up, oxygenate it, it's fine. Okay, this is, how many of you have ever seen a personal water filter? Yes, I could drink gutter water and it will filter it completely. How many of you have the church water bottle filtration? You can order it online. It's wonderful, and I didn't bring that tonight. They don't fit in here, but I keep it in my car. And you, again, you can have river water, and it filters it. They're great.
Lori, right now the life straws are on sale at Costco, and you can get, I think we just bought some because ours are so old. I think you get 4 or 6 for $50.
How much money?
$50.
So four to six for $50?
4 or 6. It's in a package.
And it's called Life
Life straws.
Straws.
So Lisa says for 4 to 6 life straws you can get for $50 at Costco. The church one is about $20 for a bottled water, container, but it has a filter in it. So you can fill it with anything kind of water. You could go down to the Virgin River, which we would hopefully never drink, and fill it up, and you would be safe to drink.
And that's online at the church? Where do you buy them at?
It's
Okay.
online at the church.
Okay.
So this is a life straw. Okay, with my water. I know they're in there. I also keep bacteria
Pellet or
pellets. Yeah, they're kind of a pill or a pellet. And if I would run into a problem, I can drop these into like your pitcher of water and sanitize it. It kills all the bacteria. But I think your filtration is better. I just had these on hand before it even came about. So water, big supply. This is one of the only packs that work in your container. I really researched this, and these are called emergency rations. They're 2,400 calories. And what it looks like inside is this. And it tastes, I'm going to let you taste it if you wish.
Looks like Rice Krispies.
It does. And it can be crumbly. It's somewhere between a biscuit and a granola bar. Is it good? No. I mean, it's not bad though. I don't find it bad at all. I would eat it. It's completely free of salt. It has a little sugar, but not much. And it will not dehydrate you. So I chopped one up in little pieces. This contains 12 of those little packages. And I don't know about you, but I don't eat 2,400 calories in a day. So this will feed my husband and I. He would get a little bit more than me. I'd take maybe 1,000 calories, 200 a bar. And that would be my ration. And then he would get the rest because he uses and exerts more energy. And I would take one of those per day. So that would be my 72 hours. So we'll start over here. I promise they're not terrible, but it's life-saving. These will last in your, well, they say on the back they'll last 5 years. And they will, unless you put them in your car, in your trunk, where it's hot. And I said, okay, so what can you give us that will last in the trunk? She goes, nothing. Not even what they try to give the Army. She says, but they drop these, and they drop MREs, and they, you know, they're meant to be portable and then used. And so this will last 2 days, 2 years in your car. They'll last 2 years. That's good enough for me. $10, done. All right, and I don't have to worry about food anymore. That is my food. I've tried candy, I've tried gum, I've tried protein bars, granola bars. Have you ever eaten an old granola bar? Oh, it's so bad, and they get oily, and then it's rancid. They're awful.
Are you saying that lasts 2 years in the trunk with you?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. And so what I decided to do on my 72-hour kit is I will pack this in there for an emergency, and that's my insurance. My pack that was all full was made for both my husband and I. I throw tennis shoes in the car that we already have in there, because if I got trapped today, I'd be in trouble. And that's all I do. In the winter, I keep a blanket and a jacket. But I do have solar blankets in there that are easy to carry. Penny?
Is that gluten-free?
What?
Is that gluten-free?
No, it's not. It has wheat. Good question.
So I've never used my 72-hour kit except one time, and that was a fire out on the plains in Colorado. We're so close that, I mean, we could almost feel it.
Yeah.
So we grabbed them, and then I realized I had none of my insurance papers. And so I got my insurance papers. And it wouldn't hurt to put a copy of that, if that would be the
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
The other
Yeah.
one is a hand-cranked radio
Yeah,
that you can hear in case it's a national disaster.
exactly. And I have a radio in there that we use, and we trade the battery on that. But for the most part, you ladies use your phones now.
Oh.
And having, yeah, so it isn't so important as it used to be. I had a hand crank flashlight, and I didn't bring it. I go, that's an antique, all right, because we have our phones.
But those cell towers go down.
Yes, they could. but
And so
then
does your
we're all in
power.
the same boat.
Make sure you get a solar charger for your phone.
Yes, and I have a solar charger. I didn't put it in my 72-hour kit just because there's only so much you can pack. I'd have the trunk full and never be able to get groceries home. So I highly recommend that. The MREs that they sell are really good if you're keeping it for take it and go. An MRE is kind of like a TV dinner. And it comes in a package, about 8 by 10 at the most. And then it's like a little TV dinner, freeze-dried inside. And then you pour, a package of water comes with it. You pour that into the bottom, which is basically phosphate, like a gunpowder, and it ignites and warms your food. They're good. They're really good. There's a company called Heater Meals. And we bought a box of them, and I still had it 10 years later. And my son said they were going to go camping, he and his wife. Luckily, that didn't end in a divorce, in Catalina. And he said, well, let me try one of these. I go, well, they're 10 years. He tried it. It was perfect, and they took the rest of the box with them. So that's something I want to order, but that's a take it and go. I'm not keeping them in my car. They will not last. They won't. Winter, you could have a winter summer pack, I guess, but I'm not worried about it. This is just fine with me for 3 days. Call it a weight loss program. All's good. All right. The warmth kit, I keep a pair of gloves. And I don't know if you do, but I always put a pair of gloves in each of my jackets. So they're always with me anyway. But I put just a basic pair for me. And then again at Walmart, I found these warm work gloves. And they were $5. And believe me, he's going to work. So I got those for him. These are fun. If you ski, you know what they are. They're hand warmers. And you can put them inside your glove, you can put them in your pockets, you can put them in your socks. They're wonderful. So I have some packages of those. I have emergency blankets in a couple of areas. Okay, they're warm. They really do a great job.
What was the second thing?
Oh, it's also an emergency blanket.
Okay.
It's the same size, believe it or not.
Okay.
And just a couple of different companies that I have.
Those work really good for first aid too.
They do.
Come up on an accident.
When we were coming down the mountain one day on our way to work, we came across a car that had flipped. And it was common on the rim. And these people were just out freezing. They were cold. And we stopped and we had gloves, we had hand warmers, we had the emergency blankets. And I don't know if it helped, but it couldn't hurt. And so I carry those with me. This is fire and light. I always have a package of flares. So hopefully if somebody's looking for me, if I'm lucky, they can see me or another car doesn't run in back of me. I carry light sticks just because they work and they're fun if the kids are along. Always lighters, and I leave right in the package because if you don't, things happen to lighters. It's really interesting. The ones I had before, one worked, one didn't, one had dried up a bit, so I'm keeping this one packed. And matches, wooden ones, because they work better. And I take my extra batteries for my flashlight as part of my light. It's out here somewhere.
From the other side.
There it is. I just get a carabiner, and that has my flashlights on it. It has a can opener. It also has a small knife. All right. My larger knife that is really good to have, not only for your own protection, but things you need a knife for. And I don't know where I put that, but I have a bigger knife. I typically don't put it in here because if I had an emergency and Bill had gone for help and I was alone in the car, this backpack in my trunk isn't going to do me any good. So I keep my knife right there. And it's pink, but it's vicious.
Lori, the other thing you have on that outside carabiner, you've got a whistle.
I do have a whistle. And it's a good whistle, not a kid's whistle or a plastic whistle. This is like you'd use for PE. And it's a great whistle, and they can hear me for a long ways. All right?
Lori,
Yes?
the whistle thing, when you take your kids camping, I
Yes.
went around the neck,
Yeah, that's a
very
great
nice.
idea.
because we lived in Alaska twice, and they
Yes.
wonder.
That's a really good idea. I wish they still made these, but they don't. But if you ever see them, these were called Millennium Bars. And they're like what I passed around, only they were flavored. And they really, really were good. And I asked her about them, she goes, oh, we haven't made those or carried them for a while, but I know what you're talking about. And I said, you know, when we first did these up in Arrowhead, there were 10 flavors. And I cut them up just like I did for you tonight. And I had just a bite of each one, and I couldn't complain about any of the flavors. They were delicious. This would still work, but it's about as hard as a rock. And when I get home, I'm going to throw them out. I just wanted you to see them. So you can't go wrong with them. They were delicious. They were more like cookie dough, but they don't make them anymore.
I dare you to try it before you chuck it. And then report back.
I did. I opened one last night, and, you know, you could kill somebody with this. It could be a weapon. Yeah.
It's a weapon, you don't need a gun.
I know. How many of you use Mio, M-I-O? This is a store brand. It's really good. It's flavor, and it will flavor your water. It really makes a difference. And then also, if you're looking for food, these pouch tuna, I didn't put the hole in it. It had a hole in it, probably to sell, but I bagged them that way. And this will stay a long time. I don't recommend it in the summer, but in the winter, I'll probably add to it. All right? Okay, and then I wanted to show you one other MRE that's a mainstay bar. This is more like what they give in the Army. They'll drop them from the helicopters. And they're not bad when they're fresh, which this one isn't. Okay, they're tasty. They're not bad. These, where did we get them? Army surplus store. Yeah, or sporting goods store. Hunters will take stuff like that out, beef jerky. Beef jerky's not going to work in this pack. Out of luck, duck. It'll be rancid and oily and nasty. You'll probably die.
But the tuna fish is okay?
What's that?
The tuna fish is okay?
Tuna fish works great in the aluminum packet.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. In the pouches, it works okay in the heat?
pouches, it works good, but I wouldn't personally carry it in the summer.
Okay.
I just wouldn't. That's meat.
I found that the pop-top kind of cans don't last as long as the traditional cans.
Right.
So if you're going to throw anything that has a pop-top, I don't recommend that. If they all burst in time,
Yeah.
and it wasn't that
And
long.
was who? Sanitation is really important. I've got a package of Lysol wipes. Let's say they go dry, just add water. They're fine. I have plastic gloves and bags. You may need bags. And of course your toilet paper will condense there a little bit. I carry a Purell. And that is basic sanitation, okay? This isn't the Hilton. It's not. You know, it's survival for 3 days if you need it. If you have time to pack better, you do it. But mine's in the car, and I have to have what I can carry. You gotta carry this. And so because I told you what we did it for one, I plan on him carrying it. Because it's probably 20 pounds. But what I did was I put an empty backpack under it. And so we can divide it. The heaviest things are water. Water's heavy. And I wanted extra water for washing or putting over my head if it's hot like it is lately. Your personal kit, personal business, okay, of what you like. I made sure we had toothbrushes and toothpaste, couple of washcloths, and a hand towel. You're gonna wanna freshen up. Okay, I need sunscreen. I need it bad, so I made sure sunscreen, chapstick, a razor for him. Some tissues I didn't have to have, because I got toilet paper, but I put them in there.
I have a question on the sunscreen, because I find that every year I have to get new. Is that when other people had to get new, you just never use last year's?
It separates.
Yeah, it separates, but if you've had it in the house in good condition, and you can rub it on, it's good. It may be slightly less effective, but if you got a 50, it's fine. Okay? We went over this. That was like, I don't think I told you about these. This is called utility flame. And I don't know how your wood fire skills are. Mine probably are non-existent. But you gather up some wood or pine cones or whatever you can find and put this on and it'll start your fires real easy.
Lori,
Yeah.
the best fire starter is Cheetos.
Is what?
Cheetos.
Or Doritos.
Or Doritos.
Oh,
They are
wasted
full
food.
of oil.
I think that's a mental part.
I've never heard that.
They're really bad. For some reason, there's some chemical in it that like it's very.
And they stay there, they're full of oil.
Don't tell little kids about that.
No.
Like that, kerosene on it.
That's hilarious. And I put the size battery for my flashlights. I tape it in, so I know where they are. Okay. So we went through that, and that belonged in the other part. Am I missing things? Yeah. Here's my pink knife, right in front. This is a handy dandy thing. It'll break your windshield if you happen to go over the bridge and fall off into the water. Break the windshield. It has a can opener. It has a very hefty knife that I have to practice putting in and out, but it works. It's sharp because I never use it, but it's there. And this, my husband asked for specifically a utility.
5-in-1.
Yeah, 5-in-1, pliers, knives, scissors, everything. And bless his heart, if he asked for it, he's got it. And he kind of helped me do this, which was really kind of neat. And he said, you only have one. And I said, yep, all we need without the children now is one good one. What about my Jeep? I go, well, it's portable. Put it in the Jeep. 2 of us aren't driving. He goes, would you make me my own? Okay, so I did. Yeah. And I was excited he wanted to do it. How many of you have a phone charger like this or similar? These are wonderful. You can get them at Best Buy or Walmart, and
Amazon.
they charge just like your phone does, and this thing holds a charge forever. If I don't use it, it'll last months. And so we were going on a trip, and this girl next to me on the shuttle was having a fit. Her phone died. Oh my God, what is she going to do? Okay, so I said, oh, would you like a charger? I was her new best friend. But they last. So you talked about crank things and different things that we used to use. These work perfect.
Lori, I haven't done this with mine. I haven't tried it in the heat.
Yeah.
Have you tried that? Like leaving
I
it
won't
in-
put mine in the heat.
Yeah. I haven't
That's
done
why it's in the extra pouch, because this will go in my backpack. This stays in my front console where I can get it. Hope I'll be able to.
I've only had trouble with cold with batteries.
Your phone overheats.
Overheat, your phone overheats.
Yeah, your phone overheats and turns off now.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. So I don't carry my batteries, but I know where they are. If I'm taking a trip, I have a little pouch. I have 2 of these. One of them goes in that pouch. I charge it the night before. I basically use it for air flight so I can watch movies and not have to worry about my power. But it's there if I need it, and they work amazingly well. So I was really happy with those.
You can recharge them. You can recharge them.
Oh yeah, forever. I've had mine several
Did you
years.
say Best Buy? Where did you get it? Get it online.
Get it online, Amazon. Yeah.
They also have charging cases now. Like my phone is a charging case.
Ooh.
So my case charges my phone. So like when I run out of battery, I just push a button and it charges my phone back up. So
How
I'm
long
back.
does that last?
Show us.
Yeah, show us.
It looks normal. I don't
That means, Heather, come up here in front of the camera.
Yes. Come, speak.
So it's just this is my phone. I mean, and I, use it today. And so there's just a button on the back here. It'll show you, like because I charged it, I recharged it earlier. But you just plug it in at night. It recharges every night, just like your phone. It goes with the same thing.
And it's the cover.
Yep, it's the cover. It's just in my case, and it acts, so if I drop it, it protects it. It's one piece. They have two pieces. I highly suggest you get the one piece. This is a little bit flimsier up here, but you can just, and then your phone, if it dies, you just push the button at the back, and it just recharges it up again.
For how long?
Depends on what you're using it for. The full charge. It'll do it for. My husband could get it to go for a couple of days. Me, not so much. But when you plug it in at night, it just recharges the battery and it recharges the phone, and it's just,
Oh, that's great.
So-
Thank you for sharing that. I never heard that.
Yeah, I get them on Amazon.
You might want to put a deck of cards or something like that. It's not just for the kids. We get bored too. So, harmonica. Okay, so that was something. Everybody's kid is personal. And my husband has trouble with dehydration. So whether you use hydrant, liquid IV, or any of those, that is wonderful to have in your kit. Because then you're really hydrating your body and it goes a lot further. Some of them are better than others. I didn't care for the liquid IV, but other people do. We found one that's called Hydrant. And it comes in lemon and what they call blood orange. But he uses Mio lemon and orange. So it was perfect. He didn't like the berries.
Ironman used those in mega cases.
Yeah, absolutely. They're wonderful. They really keep you. Any questions? Any questions? Okay.
Is there a specialist for the ward, or do you have a specialist?
I am not the specialist.
In Atlanta, where they had someone that would call her, every month they would offer anybody that
Yes.
wanted to purchase it, all signed up and got them.
Lori did that in Virgin.
Yes.
Lori, you did that in Virgin. You made.
I did, and that's what I was going to tell you, is this is how I have ordered a lot of my food. I itemized my things to make soup, because that goes the furthest and is easiest to share with neighbors. Happy neighbors, happy life. Okay, so it comes like this. It's dehydrated. It tastes really good when you use it. Lasts for 20 to 30 years. That's not an emergency 72-hour kit, but it is something you need on hand. And I'm getting to the point of this. I had to buy several of these, and because if you don't have a big enough order, you pay shipping. Shipping's more than the product. These are $11. Shipping was $9. And so I said, I can pass them out to my family. Maybe you would like them. So here is a sign up if you would like them. And what I was thinking, I'll just put it like that, I was just thinking that maybe with Bishops and Relief Society presidency, we could get it started. In Virgin, through Emergency Essentials, we used to get something that was on sale. And then if you order 6 or more cans, you pay no shipping. So I said, well, I'm just getting this started. And I go, how about if I buy 10 of these? She goes, I'm going to let you do it because it's the first time and maybe you can help your ward. And so who wouldn't like something to add? I just added butter. Can't do without butter. Would be ugly. And then I have peas and corn and carrots and sour cream. They have dehydrated, I got eggs, I got milk. And so we would order whatever was on sale, and I would get us 30 to 50% off a can. And we just ordered one thing to make it easy. All right? So we'll talk to her about that. Here's a sign up if you would like one or more of those. And thank you. I hope you all are safe.
Thank you, Lauren.